Welcome. We're going to be talking today about why men don't love you the way that you love them. Let's get into it. This is something that I see happen all the time. I personally have a lot of experience with this. This is not something I studied in school. I've actually experienced myself. And it is possibly one of the most painful things a woman can experience. And so, if you are here catching this live, congratulations. It's a little different when you catch it live versus the replay. So let me know where you're watching from. I can briefly share where you're watching from. But I'm going to be talking to women who feel like they have so much love to give, but they don't get it back in return. And I want to just be really candid with you this evening. If you have a friend that comes to mind that you want to share this with, share it with her, because I think that this is going to be very, very, very powerful tonight. Thank you for letting me know where you guys are watching from. I am on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So if you see me looking different directions, that's why. But there are a lot of women in pain right now. There are a lot of women in pain, and I see it, I hear it, I feel their pain. And I pray that as many people as possible can watch this, actually both men and women, because I think men can also learn from this. But I hope as many people can watch it live as possible so I can interact with you. And those of you who are watching the replay, you can comment the word replay and then let me know you're catching it after the fact. But let's dive in. I'm a dating coach. I have spent the last 11 years talking to men, trying to understand men, because honestly, selfishly, I just wanted to know men well enough that I can ensure that I have a good relationship, because I went through a divorce due to not having the tools that I needed. And I never, ever, ever wanted to experience that type of pain again. Um, I was at a point where I had the darkest thoughts you could ever have. As a believer in Jesus Christ, I knew how the Lord felt about divorce. And it was not a small decision to walk away, but it was a choice that I had to make at the time for my mental health. And as I got to experience what other women went through, I had the opportunity to talk to women in an institution. And these women were all being diagnosed with chemical imbalances. They were all being told that they needed medication. Now, let me be very clear. I am not saying that I have a medical background and I know whether or not somebody should be on medication. So please let me be very clear. That is not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that from my vantage point, I have seen a lot of women who are dealing with severe trauma of heartache because of heartbreak, who are being diagnosed as having a chemical imbalance. These are women who, not voluntarily, were taken into institutions so that they could recover. These are women whose hearts were so broken that they felt like it would be easier if they didn't have to keep living. I'm trying to be careful with the algorithms, okay? But are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? This is something that is very near and dear to my heart. This is something that is very, very serious. And so if you have a friend who is really frustrated, she's struggling, she feels like she never has a man love her the way she loves him, I ask you, please, 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 please share this video. I want to talk to you so that you know that I'm addressing you, because I know you're watching this. And I want it to be extremely clear that I'm talking to you so that you know that this is what you should be watching in this moment. Because I know it's, what is it, Friday night, and you could be doing a million things. But I'm going to describe to you, if this is you, this will resonate. Okay? So let's get into it. If you deal with men who are often hot or cold, okay? I'm going to give you the signs. And then if this is not you, this is not your video. If it is you, this is your video, okay? But you're going to get men in your life constantly who are hot and cold. And you always feel like you don't know where you stand. Drop a 1 if number 1 resonates with you. So number 1, guys are hot and cold, and you never know where you stand. This is a very unsettling feeling. You don't know if I'm in a relationship, if I'm not in a relationship. Does he like me? Does he not like me? Are we moving towards commitment? Are we not moving towards commitment? Are we exclusive? Are we not exclusive? Are we moving towards marriage? Are we not moving towards marriage? You don't know where you stand with him. You're going to drop a 1 if this is you. Okay? And you get affection one day. You might even get words of affirmation one day. And then the next day he feels distant. So you just never know where you stand. And let me just say this will destroy your nervous system. Ladies, this will destroy your nervous system. Okay? But drop a 1 if you felt like, how about this one? Number 2, you feel like you are always the one reaching out. It feels like you are double texting. You are the one suggesting, when you can talk next. If he happens to miss you, he doesn't call back. Like if, you miss his call. But it feels like you are the one reaching out. Okay? If anyone feels like that, can you drop a number 2? We're going to the top 10 signs that this message is for you. So it feels like you're always the one reaching out. You see other women where the man's blowing up her phone and the man's doing this, but for you, it feels like men they're not stepping up. And so you're doing most of the reaching out. Okay, number 3, drop a 3 in the comments. If I see you, YouTube, thank you for commenting. Number 3 is if you plan most of the dates. You're rarely getting guys who are calling you saying, hey, I want to see you, period. Now let me just figure out your availability. I want to see you, period. Like, let's make it clear. I'm feeling you. I want to see you. And let's just figure out the logistics. You're getting dudes who are like, hey, pull up. I'm going to be over here. Hey, come through. I'm at the pad. And you're finding yourself hinting a lot. Hey, that band I really like is coming to town next month. Hey, Candace, I'm here for you. Okay. Hey, Now, by the way, one of the guys said, I loved her more than she loved me. You don't need to call it bogus. You just change the gender. Okay. Change the gender. If she loves you, why she never loves you the way you love her, it's okay. Men, you don't have to be harsh. Okay, just change the gender. I'm a coach for women, so I'm going to use women pronouns, but you can change the gender. It's okay, sir. Ladies, can you drop a heart hands emoji so the men to know it's a safe space? There aren't a lot of spaces for men to be vulnerable. There aren't a lot of spaces where men get emotional support. So can we just rise in solidarity real quick and just heart hands? This is why I like the live version. Men, look, these are women who are saying, we're going to share this safe space. Elle says, we don't hate men here. We love men. We know that you are very precious. Okay? So, men, all right? And if you're a man in the comments, can you put a little flex emoji or comment man? Let's see how many men are here. You guys deserve love too. All right. Candace, all my information on coaching is on my website. So if you click the link in my bio, it's going to show you all that information. I would love to help you. Okay. So number 3, if you're the one planning most of the dates, if you don't suggest something, you rarely see each other. I love to see the men here. I love the men looking after their own mental health. That's so cool. Okay. All right. Number 4, men, you can comment this if you want to share from your perspective. Number 4, he says he likes me, but his actions don't really show it. Okay? You're not getting that energy that makes you feel like, yeah, I believe it. You're hearing the words, yep. When you do hear from him, but actions aren't lining up. Okay. So stick around. If so far, if you're 1 through 4, there's a pretty good chance this video is for you. Okay. We're gonna be really clear because I don't want to waste anyone's time. And if you're ticking all these boxes, this video is specifically for you. Number 5, in the privacy of your own mind, you feel embarrassed because you know that you're giving more than he is. Drop a number 5 if you dare. Don't worry, I'll put my hand up. Okay. I know this stuff because I've been there. You feel embarrassed because you know you're putting in more work. It's embarrassing. But look around. See how many 5s? Don't feel silly. You're in a safe space. You're amongst, this is your tribe, okay? The first step to overcoming your problem is admitting you have them, right? So I love, love, love that you are being honest. Willie, what's up? What's up? Good to see you, sir. Thank you. I want to say this really quickly, ladies. And I wasn't going to share this yet. I actually have something I was planning to do in a different form of media. But it's amazing to me on this 11-year journey that God specifically handpicked men to assist me along the way. Just bear with me. This is a quick little intermission. God handpicked men who had no strings attached to help me along the way. And Mr. Willie Beeman is one of those guys. So, ladies, you never know where your angels are going to come from. And I think it's intentional that God used specifically men to allow me to see how precious men can be, because they're very vilified in society. Okay, let's get back to these checkpoints. If you're just coming in, hi. If you're just coming in, let me know where you're watching from. Oh, thank you for that, Sleepy Agent. If you're just coming in, we're going over top 10 signs that this is the video for you to watch. Okay, so if you're just coming in, let me know where you're watching from. Everybody say hey to the new people. And I'm going to quickly go through the list, okay? He's hot and cold. You never know where you stand. You feel like you're always the one reaching out. You plan most of the dates. He says he likes you, but his actions aren't really showing it. And number 5, we're on number 5. You kind of feel embarrassed that sometimes it just feels like you're giving more than he is. Okay? Oh, thank you, everybody's auntie. Ooh, Callie, that's my home. That's my home. So we're on number 6. Comment 6 if you find yourself waiting for him to text. You're waiting for him to reach out. Like sometimes you're on the phone with somebody else and you're like, man, he calls, I'm clicking over. These are signs that this live stream is for you. Okay. I'm identifying my audience right now. So we're tapping in and you stay listening. Hey, Align with Allison, shout out to you. She's one of the goats in the industry. Hey, girl. All right, so number 6. Number 7, ready for this one? When he does actually reach out and talks to you, surface level conversation, or he talks about himself, he's not really asking questions about you. That's 7. Drop a 7 if he doesn't really ask questions about you. She said, darn it, you're so right. Okay, so far we got 350 women who are experiencing this and some men, okay? Let's go number 8. And by the way, you guys, this is really going to be powerful, so please share with a friend before I get started. She said, I am so hurt, to be honest. That's who I want to talk to. That's why I want to talk to people who are hurting, okay? Number 7 is he doesn't ask questions about you. He doesn't know you on a heart level. He might know your favorite artist, your coffee order, but he doesn't really know you. He doesn't know what keeps you up at night. He doesn't know what you're scared about. He doesn't know about your childhood wounds. He doesn't really know you. Okay. Number 8. How about this one? And I don't mean for this to be triggering, but it might be triggering. These, you know, listening to these, but I don't mean to. Number 8, you keep having to explain things to him that should be basic. That Lauryn Hill song keeps going off in your head. It could all be so simple. It could all be so simple. Just on repeat in your head. But you'd rather make it hard. And loving him is like a battle. And now you're here on TikTok with a bunch of scars. Or Instagram or YouTube. It really could be so simple. Number 9, we're almost done. Okay? Number 9, you told yourself you wouldn't go to third base. But you really liked him. And so you ended up giving him the goodies because in the back of your mind, you kind of worried that he'd lose interest. Safe space, no judgment. How many are there? There are 10. We're on number 9. How many of you have ever moved physically faster than you actually were ready to emotionally because a part of you felt like he might lose interest? And the media talks about this. Oh, if you don't give it to him, someone else will. Da, da, da. So don't blame yourself. Have you ever, drop a 9, if you've ever given it to a man when you felt like you weren't ready, but you did it because you felt like this will keep him around? And finally, number 10, this will be posted on YouTube, by the way. I'm live on YouTube, so anybody who wants to can go back and watch it. I think you can rewind it while it's live even, so. Number 10, deep down inside, you felt like he even knew that you liked him more than he liked you. That's number 10. Okay? If anybody has related to all 10, I want you to spell TEN. Okay? So I know which one you guys are voting. Just drop the number 10 if you relate with number 10. But if you ticked all 10 boxes, I want you to spell TEN. Okay. That's who I wanted to reach. 1 through 6, I'll give it quickly. He's hot and cold. You often don't know where you stand. One day he's affectionate, next day he's distant. Okay. Number 2, these are 10 signs that this live stream is for you. 2, you feel like you're always the one reaching out first. Basically, if you stop texting and calling, it's like you're not going to hear from him. Number 3, you're planning most of the dates. Number 4, he says he likes you with his words, but his actions don't really show it. 5, you feel embarrassed because you know deep down you're giving more than he is. 6, you find yourself waiting around for him to reach out to you. 7, he doesn't really ask questions about you. 8, you have to keep explaining things to him, basically how to treat you, that should be basic. 9, you found yourself moving faster physically than you really wanted to because you felt like he might lose interest. And then number 10, deep down, you feel like he knows there's a love imbalance, that you like him more than he likes you. Okay? So my question was, drop a TEN, spell out the word 10 if you related to all 10 or pretty close to all 10. So I wanted to see who was in this boat. If you're not in this boat, this live stream is not for you. If a majority of these resonated with you, this may be the most powerful live stream you ever watch. Okay? So you can either listen or you could share it with a friend and not gatekeep. I hope you share it with a friend because this is going to be very powerful. And she already missed the checklist. If you are listening and you're thinking, oh my God, this is my life. This is the majority of men that I encounter. I don't want you to feel judgment. I do not want you to feel shame as much as humanly possible. I just want you to hear this with open ears and not in a way that you feel shame or judgment. Because I'm going to say something pretty intense right now. Most women in this situation believe that the problem is that they keep meeting the wrong men. Most women believe that the problem is the men. I'm attracting emotionally unavailable men. I'm attracting men who don't have emotional intelligence. I'm attracting avoidant men. These men need to have more dating coaches because the women we're learning and the men aren't. The women genuinely believe the problem is with the men. Now, I'm going to say this. A man who acts like that, it's not okay. So please understand. I am not saying that the men are in the right. That's not what I'm saying. When I'm saying the problem, I'm saying the problem for you. There's a deeper question that you may not have ever asked yourself. You ready? Why does this type of man keep getting access to me in the first place? Why does a man like this keep getting access to me in the first place? Now, don't check out. Don't check out. What I want you to recognize is that you are very intelligent. You know that what you're getting is subpar. Okay? Can you comment subpar? Now, I don't want you to feel shame and blurt out we are the problem. I'm going somewhere with this because that's an obvious thing, right? You're the problem. You just need to. We're gonna go deeper than that. A lot of people talk about you're the problem. You should. Okay, you know that it's subpar, and I want you to take a moment and comment how you feel or what has happened to you when you are in a situation that you know is subpar. I've had anxiety attacks. I have hyperventilated. I have had dark thoughts. I think we could say that on social media. Okay. If you want to share, because I want other people to see. Okay, there we go. Anxiety attack, throwing up, diarrhea. Okay. Mad, depressed, sick, nauseous, nightmares. Okay. Sleep depression. What I want you to pay attention is these are actual physical anger. Yes. Rumination. Yes. Anxiety, exhaustion, back pain, depression. Y'all gonna make me cry. Crying. My body hurts like bone, like in your bones, feeling low. I want to end it. Panic attack, tremors. Okay? Your physical body, your nervous system is saying abort, 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 but yet you don't abort. heart palpitations. Hear what I'm saying carefully, and this is why I advise you, do not go into shame mode. Do not go into shame mode or I will lose you. Do not go into shame mode. I want you to listen to this information like you're just getting a recipe to a baking show. I mean, that you're getting a baking recipe, a recipe of the cake, okay? No shame. I want you to factually listen. You cognitively know that he is giving you less than you deserve. Your nervous system is telling you abort, abort, abort. You are physically uncomfortable. How many of you, it's hard to work, it's hard to function with your children? But there's a reason why this happens. Other women experience this, they get the ick, and they leave. And I know some of you want me to rush through this, but you need to understand this is serious. Mental health is serious, and I have to be very careful that I'm not jarring to anyone. So I understand that some of you want me to just spit it out and talk really fast. I need to be considerate of the ones who are in the most fragile state right now. Some people are contemplating what they're going to do tonight. This is serious. Okay? I'm not here to be sensational, but I'm intentionally taking my time to unpack this at a speed that is okay for everyone's nervous system. Okay? Can we throw some hearts up and reset? We are going to make sure that we are patient enough for the one who's struggling the most. So heart hands, we throw some hearts up. Okay. The reason why some women get the ick and walk away, thank you for the support, you guys. This is serious. This is real. The reason why some women walk away and some don't depends on how they view themselves subconsciously. Thank you, FOA. It's what they believe subconsciously. I'm going to use a metaphor. If you go to a restaurant, the hostess when you walk in is rude. The valet is nasty when you walk up. The hostess is rude. The restaurant seems dirty. The food is disgusting if you even get to ordering it. The menu is gross. What are you going to do if that's your experience? If you have walked into a restaurant and that's what you experience, what would you do? You would leave. I'd ask for a refund and I'd want to leave. Okay? Why? Because you don't feel that that is acceptable. Now, for some people, they don't leave because let's switch the scenario. The world ended. The world almost ended. There's some nuclear explosion. And you're like, Will Smith with, what is it, iRobot or something like that. And you've walked for days and you haven't seen any signs of civilization. And far off in the distance, you see a little light and you're like, oh my God, is it a mirage? Is it too good to be true? And you walk and you're barely making it. You're crawling on hands and knees. You're about to die of dehydration. And you realize, oh my God, there's an oasis in the middle of this barren land. And it's the same restaurant I just described, right? You don't give a darn how the ballet treats you. You don't even see the ballet. You're just military style crawling in. You don't see the grease on the walls. You don't even notice the cockroach running by. You're just like, there's mold on the bread. I don't care. We're pulling the mold off and eating the rest of it. Scenario 3, you're in the car, the parking lot, and you go to pull out of the driveway, and you accidentally run over the owner's dog. This was his favorite dog. The kids are crying. It's this horrible, horrible, horrible situation. And instead of yelling at you and berating you, they come out with a hot plate and they say, "Oh my God, don't worry about it. Here, eat some food." Can you imagine? You're very hungry, but I dare say that there's a big part of you that would be uncomfortable eating that food. Why? Okay. In this scenario, you don't feel like you deserve it. Why are they giving me this great treatment when I just devastated their whole family? Maybe you were tipsy, maybe you had some margaritas and that's why you didn't see the dog, and you're just racked with guilt, and now they're trying to console you and bring you water and eat, give you food to eat, okay? I just described situations that depict different positions that women are in. The first woman believes she deserves better and turns her tail and walks out of there. Okay? Can you put deserves better? Or if you want to write the whole thing, believes she deserves better. The second woman doesn't believe she has other options. No options. You can write no options for short. The third one doesn't believe she's worthy. What we tolerate repeatedly, what consistently gets tolerated in our life, often reflects what subconsciously you believe you deserve. Did you catch that? What you tolerate repeatedly informs you what's happening on a subconscious level. If I ask you what you deserve, you're all going to tell me you deserve the best. That's why you're unhappy with what you're getting. You consciously believe you deserve the best, or you believe you deserve better than what you're getting. But scientifically, you're getting data. Are you following me? Comment yes if you get what I'm saying. Consciously, I believe I deserve better than I'm getting, but the data shows me subconsciously I don't. Again, no shame, no judgment. We're unpacking this right now. When a woman hasn't truly learned to value herself yet, she can unintentionally accept dynamics that slowly chip away at her self-respect. Slowly. Okay? Hot and cold behavior, low effort, an imbalance where she's giving more than she receives, and you find yourself acting out of character. Can you comment out of character? How many of you have acted out of character for some lady's son? keyed his car, left a screaming voice note, punched something, destroyed his sneakers, called the girl he was talking to, left subliminal messages on social media. You don't have to tell me what you did. Don't incriminate yourself. But you acted out of character, and while you were doing it, your mind was going, this is so out of pocket, but I can't control myself. There was a disconnect between what you believe you should be doing and what you feel compelled to do. This is why you feel shame after. This is why you feel shame during. Okay? But the moment a woman truly begins to love and respect herself, something shifts. And those situationships don't last very long because she starts getting the ick. It's not that men suddenly changed. She's interacting with that same lady's son that you are dealing with right now. But she moved on because she no longer stays where she isn't valued. The ick is the man not giving her as much as she's giving him. You guys can go back on YouTube and watch all the signs. Not, he barely texts, he doesn't make plans. We went through all of it at the beginning, painstakingly. So you can go back and watch the beginning. I have a workshop that I have created. It was really on my heart to work with women who are tired of being told to love themselves. What the? Okay, how? How? You want to sit there, oh, I love myself. I mean, how many affirmations can you put on a wall? Comment me if you were told, love yourself. You just got to love yourself more. You just got to love yourself, but you don't know how. I want you to comment me or how. Like, I get it in theory. Hello, you don't think I know he's not good? Like, I'm not stupid. I know he's not good for me. I don't think you understand that I feel like I am addicted like it's crack cocaine. Obviously, you don't think I feel shame? I feel stupid. I feel dumb. I beat myself up more than any girlfriend can beat me up. I get it. I just don't know how. This is not a willpower thing. This is not a mind over matter thing. This is your actual nervous system that has been wired this way. This is why I asked you what physically happens to you, not I'm bummed. What do we see? Nausea, throwing up, diarrhea, anxious, can't take care of our kids, can't sleep, back problems, muscle ache, right? This is an actual physical thing. And by the way, any men who are watching, don't you ever tell a woman she's crazy. Don't you ever tell a woman she is being overly emotional. She is physically going through physical trauma in her nervous system. She is terrified. She is scared. It would be like you going in the deepest of the deep of the hood, being surrounded by gangsters and vatos who are pulling stuff out and telling you, calmate, calm down, eh? Why are you tripping? Like, what's the problem? Chill, relax. You know what you need to do? You need to relax, man. Like, chill, like, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Like, post up somewhere and relax. Take a breath, eh? You need to take 5 minutes. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you don't have guns pointed at your head. You wearing the wrong colors in the wrong part of town, and there are actual people standing like, and they're like, oh, "You're so dramatic. It's not that serious." You're making such a big deal about these guns. Like, oh, stop tripping. Men do not ever discount her feelings. You should thank God that you will never experience a tenth of the emotions that a woman feels. Because as someone who personally feels these emotions and has actually gone through a physical riptide, because I'm a Southern California girl born and raised, the riptide is the scariest thing you can go through because you are out of control, you are being tossed, and it only stops when the ocean decides it's done with you. And then when you emerge, if you're lucky enough to still have a bathing suit on, you are way down the stream or down the ocean. And if you're like me as a kid and you had glasses because you thought you were just going to frolic at the shallow end of the ocean, well, now you can't see and find your way back to your aunt's house, who lives in a private beach community, and I was just in her backyard. I would not wish that on my worst enemy, the actual riptide or the emotional riptide. What I have learned is that you cannot just understand what the problem is. I just told you what the problem is. Now you just know what the problem is. You are still going to experience all of the physical things that are happening, and you're going to keep repeating the pattern unless someone walks you through the system. There is an actual mind-body connection. People have actually been cured of tumors and cancers and given themselves ulcers and cancers because of the amount of stress. Hair has fallen out of people's heads because of stress. I believe my grandfather physically died because he missed my grandma. And he told everyone, I don't want to live if Laura is not in this world. And so not much longer after she passed, he left. Don't anybody ever tell me women are just emotional. They have emotions, yes, and they are fighting for their lives. So I'm here to tell you, I put a workshop together. I've been doing this 11 years. I am stingy about my Saturdays, but I truly feel that God put it on my heart to do Saturdays because Saturdays is the day that most people have off. I know some of you don't, and a lot of these students will just watch the replays. But I'm giving my Saturdays for as long as God has me do it, because I'm like, Lord, can I just tape it and then, record it and people watch the replays? But for now, we're doing it live. I came out of retirement, y'all, because I'm not going to hold you. I like having my recorded stuff because I can just go about my business and be a mama. Okay, kids about to graduate college, and I can travel and, go watch his graduation and all that. I felt so heavy on my heart to come out of retirement and commit to Saturday workshops. And I have been doing it since January 31st. My workshop is called Dating from Wholeness. And when I tell you, y'all, we be, I'm getting just as much out of it as you guys are, okay? And we are healing. I said we. The reason I know this stuff, I did not go to school for psychology. I have not taken a single class. I know because I went to the School of Hard Knocks. If you saw the emotional wounds that are in my body, I boo-hooed before I even came on this live stream because it is a journey. I am unpacking how childhood wounds and experiencing love that is not in its purest form affects you psychologically, and I am literally vulnerably going through the process with you guys. And when I tell you I am not the person I was just even a month ago. When I am telling you I am seeing real-time victories with the girls who are currently in my class, this stuff is real. And I keep hearing the word revolution, revolution, revolution. And it started back in November. And I said, ladies, enough is enough. No more are we going to tolerate mistreatment. I know that, I'm not trying to cause a gender war. I'm not trying to feed into the gender war. I hate the gender war. But I've got to call a spade a spade. I gotta call a spade a spade. I am seeing so many women who are tired and fed up and broken because they give and give and give and give and give. And some are physically being beaten. Some are being subjected to emotional abuse, called names that should never be called, being given the silent treatment. I know men go through things too. I know that. I counsel women, so that's what I see. So I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men. Men, you go through horrible things. I have a private men's page. I do know that. What I'm saying is I'm tired of seeing the women go through it. And I know that the solution is for both genders if the women can understand one thing. Ladies, listen close to me. You, as a feminine creature, a divine creature, you are a door, my love. Your power is not like the masculine. The masculine is what walks back and forth to the doors. You are the door, and a door that is fixed on a hinge can only do two things. Who's going to tell me? What are the two things that can happen with a door? What are your only two options? If you are a door and you are hinged to a frame, what are your only two options that you have? Open and close. Yes, Amy. Ladies, if the men are not coming correct, if the men are not getting to the bag, if the men aren't emotionally intelligent, if the men are not being kind, if the men are not willing to wait until marriage to get the goodies, then what you must do is have the courage to stay closed. And I say courage because it's difficult when you have such a desire like me, that as long as you can remember, you have always wanted love, and you have so much love, you feel like you're gonna freaking explode because so much love is inside you. But we're stopping this in 2026. We started in 2025. We are snatching up our love. We are holding back our love. We are not giving our love one more ounce of it to men who do not come correct. We are closing that door. We are barricading that door, and we are healing in Jesus' name. Do you hear what I'm saying? And my group, we have gathered behind a big old door. It's like Noah's Ark. And we prepared food. We got the rations. We got what we need. And we're going to stick together. We're not going to turn to women. Look, we still like men. We team men all day. We strictly, you know what? But until they come correct, we shall not be moved. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? But this sounds good. This sounds great. You might be over here, yeah, I'm going to throw the shoe, to the phone. It's not enough to feel hyped. What you going to do about it? Because I guarantee you, this hype is only going to last as long as the adrenaline is pumping, listening to my words. But the minute he calls you on the phone, you go, hey, boo. The minute he wants to pull up at 11 o'clock at night after not talking to you for 2 weeks, you won't spread them legs. Why? Because nobody has taught you the tools. This is what I need you to do. Those of you who want to shut the doors of the church, close the doors. What's that thing? Close the church door. That viral audio. Those of you who want to, but don't have the tools, comment the word tools. And I want to talk to you guys next. Everyone else, you guys can leave. I'm going to tell you what you can do. Okay? Those of you on YouTube who want the tools, sign up for this workshop. We're meeting tomorrow. You have less than 12 hours. We're going to hang, well, a little more than 12 hours, okay? YouTube, go to the description of the video, click the link. I want you to sign up. And look, I'm gonna get real blunt with you. It's $97. Y'all spend it on DoorDash in 2 meals, okay? So I don't want anybody to tell me they don't have the $97, okay? And if someone genuine, I'm talking like you don't know how you're gonna pay your rent, before you have to stand before God. If you don't have it, I have a scholarship, but you will be vetted by my team. Do not come in here acting like you don't have 97 and you really do. Okay? Because if you could spend it on Popeyes, you could spend it on your mental health. Save it for the people who genuinely don't know how they're going to make it. Okay? They're on food stamps. They don't know where, you know what I'm saying? Like they taking the bus. But those of you who are blessed to have 97, and if anybody, by the way, if anybody wants to sponsor somebody who doesn't have it, I can set that up and we can, I'll connect the two of you guys and you could sponsor 1 month or whatever so people can actually see who's getting it, right? It's not going to go to me. You're going to let people are going to see who's getting it. If you would like to attend, I invite you right now to hit on TikTok only. You're going to hit this little arrow in the corner and you are going to write the word freedom. Okay? Just DM the word freedom. If you do not have the 97, no need to put in the comments. You're going to DM that you don't have the 97. And I will have my team, we're going to vet, we're going to see who's sincere, who really needs it the most. And then we'll pair you if it's on anyone's heart to do that. But this is a monthly workshop. It ends up being $13 an hour because I give you 8 hours. You're going to get 2 hours every Saturday, okay? From 12 p.m. Central Standard Time to 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. The first hour is a class, college style. You're going to have the PowerPoint presentation, the whole nine. The second hour, we unpack, okay? We have group style, and you guys, we can talk. This is where you really see the healing start to begin. So those of you on TikTok who want it, you're going to DM me the word freedom. On Instagram, you can simply comment in the comments and it will go to your DM. Now listen carefully. This is an automation because I can't do this and do my live stream. It's an automation. If you comment the word freedom, the automation is going to ask you for information and you have to keep engaging with it to be able to get the information. Okay? So the workshop, you guys, this is something that I feel led to do. I don't have a set structure. It's not 10, it's not 8. I'm just going until there isn't a need. And I'm taking my time and going through it how I need to go through it. Right now, we are on week 6. We started January 31st. And like last week, I felt really led to just do 2 hours of group, and it ended up being the best decision ever. I take this thing very seriously. I follow my intuition and whatever I feel led to do, but usually that's the exception, is not the rule. Okay? So we have an hour for the class, which I record that class. I do not record for privacy purposes. The second hour where everyone's engaging. And it's on Zoom. I really encourage cameras on. You don't have to have your camera on, but it's a lot more intimate if the camera is on. And I tell women, this is not a place you need to come dressed up. A lot of you are at your wit's end. I don't care if you have a bonnet on. I don't care if you have a face mask on, just not a ski mask, that'd be weird. But if you in bed, you can't get out of bed. I don't care if you're in a stained t-shirt, I don't care. This is 2 hours of your week where you could just get loved on. Just have community and learn how to love yourself back to health. Now, most of you know this, but I'm going to say this in case there's someone who doesn't. You are a spirit. You are a spirit, but you're having a human experience. So I'm going to teach you things spiritually as well as naturally. Okay? If you don't understand the spiritual side, you could try to do the natural things, but they will not be as powerful. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why all the empty affirmations don't work. You have to do the things naturally as a human, but then the spiritual aspect is what switches over. Those of you who do not have the 97, you need to just simply DM me that, and then my team will reach out and they will pick, I don't know how many. We'll just see how many we could spread it out with the amount of sponsorships that we have. Okay? But everyone else, you're going to DM the word freedom. And men, if you would like to take a course like this, I actually have men on a waiting list because men have messaged me saying, we want something for the men. If you feel like you are really struggling and you just don't have the tools, then I want you to comment the word freedom as well. And it's going to ask you your gender. Say you're a man, and then you'll get put on the waiting list, okay? Does anybody have any questions before I go? Okay, you're going to DM the word freedom. Instagram, you can just write the word freedom. What is happening on a subconscious level is you do not believe that you are worthy of love, and therefore your spirit is secretly asking each man you encounter, do you think I'm worthy? Do you think I'm worthy? Do you think I'm worthy? And you subconsciously are trying to prove that you are worthy. Oh, this class, it's all about healing your inner child. I literally filmed a video today. I'll be posting it probably tomorrow, where I was talking about, today I was crying for my inner child. I was crying for my inner child because I know what she didn't know. And I wish I could go back in time and tell her, baby, you're enough. You deserve love. You're perfect the way that you are. But I truly believe that God allowed me to go through the pain that I went through so I could literally do this workshop. If you commented in the comments on TikTok, it does not work. You have to hit the DM. TikTok is not set up for comments like Instagram is. So the automation requires you to send the DM. So please send the DM if you did. Now, it is recorded. So the women who work on Saturdays, you can watch the replay. You just will not participate in the group because for privacy purposes, I don't record the second half. People are getting vulnerable. They're sharing things. It's very private. Okay. So if you miss a class, and now here's the good news, because I've been recording, anybody who joins tonight, you literally can watch 5 videos tonight. You could binge. Okay. And there's a lot to unpack. So when you come in, you're going to be coming into week 6. So it's like coming in at 6th grade. So you can start watching the other ones. You're still going to be able to follow along. It's not like we're speaking foreign language, but I'm expecting that people who came in have watched the 6 weeks leading up to it. But please, by all means, come in and watch it. You might watch it live, and then when you go back and watch it in order, you're like, oh, it makes so much more sense now. That makes sense? Okay? It's like teaching Spanish. Do I understand attachment styles? Yes, absolutely. Now, I cater mostly to the anxious attachment style, but the fearful avoidant, you absolutely will get help with this because at the end of the day, all the attachment styles are rooted in fear. All of they're just different flavors of fear. It's a chocolate version of fear, a vanilla version of fear, a strawberry version. They're all based on fear. So the tools that we go over are going to help you overcome that fear. I'm going to give you tangible things you can do in real time. We had a lady last week who was having a full panic attack right there, real time. And we were all able to learn in real time what to do to calm our nervous system. Because you will learn things like when you are having an anxious, when your nervous system is overwhelmed, you literally lose the part of your brain, you lose that function that is logical and cognitive. So you have to know tools to calm your nervous system enough to calm your body down to even be able to logically handle what you need to do. This is a very, very, very detailed workshop. This is not kumbaya and let's all think we're pretty and say affirmations. We get into it. So you will learn how not to invest too early. You're going to learn how to pace yourself emotionally, physically, and time-wise so that you're not the one carrying these relationships, these connections. You're going to recognize mixed signals very quickly so that you're not analyzing them for months. You're not hitting up ChatGPT and phoning a friend and just ruminating, just, oh my God, they make the difference. You're going to be able to tell the difference between genuine interest and a guy who's just, he's kind of likes you a little bit. Okay. You're going to tell if he's genuinely pursuing you or just enjoying your availability. Because as I teach in my masterclass, men can show up and want access to you and not see a future. Like they know going in, they don't see a future, but they just like having access to you. Okay. This is how you're going to learn how you can protect yourself so you don't give more than you want to, especially physically. I'm going to show you how to stop initiating and chasing in a way that makes you lower your value in a man's eyes. I'm going to show you how to ask the right questions early on so you can see what a man is really about. You're going to be able to very quickly identify emotional unavailability in a man before you get attached, because we get attached over time. Okay. I'm going to show you, most importantly, though, how to trust your intuition instead of second guessing yourself. Because as we started out, all of you said at the beginning, you have the intuition. You know that you're not getting treated the right way. You are going to learn how to walk away from confusing situations without feeling guilty, without feeling like you're being dramatic. Ultimately, I want you to be able to recognize the difference between a man who is curious about you and a man who is simply just enjoying the attention or resources you're giving him. This is why my workshop is called Dating from Wholeness, because women who date from a place of wholeness do not spend months trying to decode a man's behavior. They notice it quickly when effort is missing and they calmly move on. No anger, no rage. You don't even need to block it half the times. Okay? So if you are ready to stop feeling confused in dating, if you are ready to start seeing what is really happening subconsciously, I would love for you to join us tomorrow. So, last call. You're going to hit this little yellow arrow on TikTok. And you're going to comment the word, you're going to DM the word freedom. Can we do it as moms for kids? Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually really recommend moms do this, because this is, I'm so glad you said this. This goes beyond you. You might think, oh, you're investing $97 in yourself, which to me, I think is wild considering what you're going to get. But the point is, I wanted as many people to have access as possible. But as a mom, if you learn this, you can break generational curses. If you go back in your family tree and you talk to your mom, your grandma, your dad, your grandpa, you're going to see that the same exact things happened. People who over control, people who are very anxious, people who are abusive, people who have addictions. This is something that gets passed down because it's behavioral. It is taught. What people are doing is, when they have a childhood wound, they raise their children with a false version of love. For example, if you praise your children when they do well, but you withhold affection and warmth when they are not doing well, that child learns subconsciously that love is earned. Love is performative. This doesn't mean you're a bad parent, you're beating them and verbally lashing them. You might just be irritated because you have a child who's not acting the way you think they should. Maybe one's excelling in school and the other one's really failing, or one of them is addicted to something and you can't. We teach our children what love is supposed to look like. And children will come up with a definition of love that they will then go into the world and try to date that way. So there is a part of you that grew up feeling like you were unworthy of love. Love was performance. You had to perform to get it. You had to earn it. And now you try to earn it in all the wrong places. So the goal of this workshop is not finding a man. The goal is becoming the kind of woman who never has to chase love again. Now, I invite you, if you have not done so, YouTube, you guys can click the link below, join the workshop. I will see you as early as tomorrow. It's on Zoom, and you can come in, cameras on, cameras off, 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Pacific. But I hope to see you there. Have a good night.